Back in studio with us today, Kyle the Monster Nelson, local MMA fighter. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. We're here to talk about your upcoming fight in the next few days. So let's get right to it. So what's this fight all about? Where is it? And are you excited about it?
Yeah. So the fight is April 25th in Romania. So it's in a little place called Brasov. It's pronounced Brasov, but something like that. Yeah. So I fought in Romania last year. So last year it was in Bucharest, Romania. So it's a slightly different spot and a new opponent. And yeah.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, isn't this? Are you going up a weight class? Or?
Yeah, so we took this fight, again, it's on April 25th, and we took it about a week and a bit ago. So we took it kind of on short notice, and I've been training hard, and training's been going great, but just where my weight is at right now, it's going to be a lot easier to do the 155 weight class as opposed to trying to make 145 on this short notice.
Oh, really? Okay. So let's talk about this. I mean, for those that are watching right now, mixed martial arts, it's a very interesting sport, multifaceted sport. And let's talk about, I never really asked you this before. I know I've interviewed you many times. What is it about this sport that even got you into it?
So I liked boxing. So,
right.
And yeah, I'm not sure. I did some team sports like basketball and stuff when I was in public school, and I always enjoyed playing sports. But again, I felt like, sometimes I would be trying harder, or maybe I'd be doing better, and then there'd be other aspects of my team that maybe wasn't up to the same par. So then, maybe we'd lose a game or something like that, and I just felt with a sport like boxing or mixed martial arts or fighting, it's just you. So everything's on your shoulders. So if you work as hard as you possibly can, and you do really well, then generally 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have a good result and you're gonna do well in the fight. You don't have to rely on anybody else.
Now, are you seeing? Before we get back to the actual fight that's coming up, I wanted to ask, are you seeing an increase in popularity just locally here with mixed martial arts too, and just from the gyms that you've been training at?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, mixed martial arts has only really been in the mainstream since 2005, so it's still growing pretty quickly. And yeah, around Huntsville with me being a professional MMA fighter, I think it's bringing kind of almost like an awareness. Like some people had never even heard of mixed martial arts. So with me competing in it, I think a lot more people are hearing about it, and then they're starting to check out, some of my fights or some UFC fights, and yeah, we're getting a lot more fans.
One of your biggest supporters, of course, is Moose Delaney. So that fight that on the Tuesday, it's a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, is going to. I know you can live stream it, but you did mention that it's going to be there as well, right?
Yeah. So again, it'll be Tuesday. Now I'll be fighting at 7 o'clock at night in Romania, but there's a 7-hour time difference. So
right.
It's going to be on around noon here, Tuesday at noon at Moose Delaney's. Yeah.
That's not bad. That's lunch hour, so
yeah.
People can get away to see that for sure.
Yeah, sneak out for a beer.
No, I know exactly. And I mean, but now let's talk about this. So you're going. I know you talked about how you're training now. You say you're ready to go up a weight class. Now, the last time you went up a weight class was down in Michigan, and you lost that fight. So
yeah.
What are you doing differently or what have you done differently to try to make sure that you have a more successful outcome this time around in a weight class that you don't normally fight in?
So with this fight, again, my last fight when I did go up to 55, I was preparing for a 145-pound fight. So I was walking around really light. I was just a little above 155 going into the fight.
Right.
And that opponent that I had lost to was coming down from 170, so he was already in a much heavier weight class, and he was trying to come down to 155, whereas I was basically walking around at 155 because I had expected to fight at 145. So with this fight, I've been walking around at 170, a little over 170, so I'm walking around at the weight that somebody that's going to fight at 155 would fight at or would walk around at. So I'm already carrying enough muscle and enough mass to be able to walk into a fight at 155 and not have to worry about a size disadvantage.
For those that are watching that have followed you and do follow you, who are you fighting, and what have you learned about this opponent?
So this opponent, we actually just heard about this opponent this morning. So we got the offer to go fight again a week or so ago, and I jumped on it because I enjoyed my last fight in Romania, and I haven't fought since October, so I need to try and get back in the ring. And so I hopped all over it, and they didn't exactly have an opponent nailed down. They said it was going to be a guy from Hungary. So I was like, all right, awesome. It doesn't really matter to me who it is. I'm going to fight them. And this morning we got his name, and it's something like Zolt.
Okay.
It's a very Hungarian name, I believe. So it's difficult to pronounce. So his first name's Zolt, and I'm not going to attempt his last name.
Right.
So yeah.
So so quick studying, because you leave. When do you leave for Romania? Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, yeah.
So what is it that you're going to look for then in the meantime? Are you going to try to look up his other fights and see? Do you have any idea of how you're going to beat this guy?
So since my last fight after I beat Jonathan Brookins, we've spent so much time doing skill building and just building on all my techniques and stuff. So I'm more excited about just going in and showcasing some of the new stuff that I've learned. I'm not too concerned about who the opponent is. It doesn't matter really who it is. I've built myself up, my skill level up to a point where everything I do is going to work against anybody, no matter who it is, whether it's Conor McGregor or anybody. What I'm going to do it to anybody, no matter who it is. So whether this guy, is undefeated or even a little bit bigger than me or whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, right. So it seems like you're ready for this fight and you're excited.
Yeah.
And family's excited too, I bet.
Yeah. Everybody's excited to see me get back in there.